Hello, and welcome to another day on the channel. My name is RNGesus, and today we'll be doing some new Capenna quick draft since it just got released. And I thought it might be a fun time to just throw it back and have some fun with a nice old set. So, pack 1, pick 1. Our rare is Reservoir Kraken, pretty strong. It's either a 6/6 trample ward for 4, which is pretty good, or it's just a fish generator, and both of those are really good. So I think I'll be taking the Kraken. Other good cards are Riveteer's Decoy, Pugnacious Pugilist I always love, Murder's a good removal spell. I've always been surprised by Skycrier, but those are the only good cards in the pack. But we're just going to take Reservoir Kraken. And here, we can just stay on the blue train, take Echo Inspector. It's just super strong blue card. Helps loot, can be a 3/4 flyer, which is a sizable body, and a 2/3 if you discard a land. Corrupt Court Official is always super good. Cormella is really strong, but I think that Echo Inspector is probably just the pick here. And now we get a little chat and Hypnotic Grifter. I don't see a real reason to go into any other color at the moment. Like, we can either go into white or black, and right now, well, because of the colors in this set. And Rafine Silencer's fine, Crooked Custodian's fine. It's either Little Chat or Hypnotic Grifter here. Grifter's pretty good in late game and early game as a 1/2 for 1, just holds the board down for a quick while. Little Chat's just pretty decent. Sacrifice something small or something that's about to die. Let's go with the Grifter. I think that the Grifter's a little more, does a little more than Little Chat. And now we get a very late Celestial Regulator. That is a sign, but there's a few black cards, but none of them are good. Like Vampire Scrivener, Illicit Shipment, Revel Ruiner's fine, but I think the Celestial Regulator tops all of them. Yeah, the Wrecking Crew I'm a big fan of, especially in a treasure deck where you can like turn 3 or 4 ramp into this and it's just a big dumb beater. But we'll take the Regulator. And now we can take Kill Shot or Quick Draw Dagger. Disdainful Stroke is fine, but I think we'd rather take the Dagger here. Like, Kill Shot's a pretty limited removal spell, and Quick Draw Dagger is a pretty cool combat trick along with just being a permanent pump effect. So we'll take the Dagger. Plus, we always want at least like one of these at some point. Now, there's no blue. Masked Bandits is pretty decent, but all of these cards are pretty medium in the first place. So let's just take Refuse to Yield as a good combat trick. And now we can take a good land with Skybridge Towers over Dapper Shieldmate. Corrupt Court Official still in the pack is surprising. Here, we can take a Buyer Silence, or we can just take a land. I think I'm into taking a land, especially with the double blue card, and we don't even know what else we can get. On the wheel, Psionic Snoop is fine. Sewer Crocodile is okay. Rogue's Gallery still in the pack is interesting. We might end up playing this. Yeah. Quick Custodian on the wheel, that's really good. Revel Ruiner. Maybe black isn't that bad. Here we go in pack 2. Okay, so we can either take Lagrella to move into like a Broker's kind of deck. Like maybe Splashing Green for like a Lagrella or something else. Or we can take Void Rend and move into Obscura. We do have like a black if we really wanted to go into like blue, black, splashing white. like cut the refuse to real yield, since white doesn't seem that open from what we saw last pack. So like just play white for Celestial Regulator and Void Rend, and mainly play blue black. I don't hate that idea. There's also Dig Up the Body that we hope to wheel. Let's take a good removal spell in Void Rend. Ooh, but now we see a Citizen's Crowbar or a Shattered Seraph. We could just go full Obscura instead of going 2 colors splashing 1. I prefer going 2 colors splashing 1, but I don't hate going 3. We'll take the Crowbar here. And now we can take another Regulator or an Out of the Way. We've got a few ways to connive, but not too many for counters, so I kind of like taking the Out of the Way. Or a hold for ransom. What's our removal looking like right now? Void Rend. That's it. I mean, Out of the Way is some pretty good tempo, so I'll take that. And now we can take a Skybridge Towers, since there's not much in this pack. A lot of Riveteer stuff. Nothing for us. And now we get a hold for ransom. That looks pretty good. There's also an Adjudicators, but I think we want the ransom here. Okay, so maybe black isn't as open as we had hoped. So we'll take the backup agent here. We can cut like the Rogues Gallery, Custodian, and Rebel Ruiners. And just splash the Void Rend. Green, on the other hand, looks pretty decently open. Let's take a land. Now we wheel a Luxurious Libation and a Voice of the well, not wheel, but it's still in the pack at pick 8. Luxurious Libation and Voice of the Vermin. Both of those really good. And now just take a kill shot. Buyer Silence I think is less limiting. For the family. Shattered Seraph in case we still go black. Celestial Regulator on the wheel. Yeah, we are in the right color, base colors. We just need to figure out what's our third color, if we want to go with third color. Okay, then. Third color's green, I guess. That is a Workshop War Chief, and boy, is that a good card. I'm sure all of you know this. It's so strong. A 5/3 that creates a 4/4 and gains your life when it dies, or you can blitz it to get a 5/3 immediately, draw a card, and basically get 5 damage in, or trade with something. We'll be snapping that up real quick. Inspiring Overseer was also in the pack, which we would have loved, but we can't have all the nice things. And now we get a Botanical Plaza or a Sky Crier. Probably the Sky Crier, with our Quick Draw Dagger and Crowbar. Let's take the Sky Crier. And now we get Broker's Veteran. Looks pretty good. Sorry, Sanguine Spy. Sanguine Spy is also really good. But now we get a Broker's Charm or Rooftop Nuisance. Probably take the Charm. Just so flexible, and we're in the right colors for it. Expendable Lackey's always good. I don't think as good as we want it to in this deck, because we've got 1, 2... We only have 2 ways to connive. 3 ways to connive. But it's still pretty decent. None of these cards we really want. Broker's Initiate I like, or we can take an Ominous Parcel. I kind of like taking the Parcel, just to keep our mana looking good. And it's also a removal spell when we don't need it. Rakish Revelers. Nothing we really want here. Run Out of Town is playable. Corrupt Court Official. Looks like we're going to need to add like a few cards from our sideboard, but I'm kind of happy with that. The deck still has some really strong cards in of itself. So let's see, we can add like expendable lackey. I mean, it's not great, but it creates fishes when it dies. That's not bad. Let's take a celebrity fencer. Actually, we get the +1/+1 counters. It's a fine threat that can grow. We can just take a boon of safety to protect like our workshop war chief or our reservoir kraken. All creatures attacked. All creatures. I'm forgetting why this card is bad. All creatures attack enchanted creatures controller each combat fable when enchanted creature dies. So it basically forces your opponent to attack each turn. Let's play the high-rise Sawjack. I think it would be nice. It's just a 2/3. It's not great, but the 2/3 reach is still fine. And let's run it like this. I like the deck. And if you're enjoying the content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It means a lot. And without further ado, let's jump into our first games and see how the deck does. This hand is missing white, which I'm not a big fan of. But it can cast at least 2 spells of its hand. No, I don't think we can keep it. A little too risky. This is better. We'll keep in bottom. Let's bottom the Fencer. Feels pretty medium. Let's lead off with a Grifter. Just because we have 1-drops in hand that we can just deploy out. Play a Parcel and Broker's Hideout. Let's go get a white source. They play a mountain, so they're probably Maestros if I had to guess. Combat, swing for 1, and let's play a Skycrier. Ooh, does this make disappear? I mean, if they make disappear the Skycrier, yeah, that means our Echo Inspector should be fine. Exhibition Magician. They create a treasure. Well, moves combat and swing for 1. They can't really block because we can just connive. They don't know that we don't have any spells on hand that we can discard, but the threat of it counts. Ooh, Workshop War Chief. I like seeing you. 1 green source off. We just naturally draw that. That'd be preferred. Otherwise, we can crack the Parcel. Wrecking Crew. Yeah, that's not good. That is a 4/5 reach. But Run Out of Town does stall it for a turn. Basically just time walks them. I'm happy with that. Get 2 free damage and time walks them. Plus it got rid of their treasure. If they don't even have a land, they might not be able to cast it as well. Yeah, they don't have a land. They just sleep with the fishes. Forest, not preferable. But that's fine. We will crack the Parcel, go get a green source. Play it. Swing for 1, and pass. And then we can connive with the Grifter, discarding the land. Sure, we take 3. Yep, they have a land, just a tapped 1. That's going to be stalling their thing for another turn. So that was a really good Run Out of Town we had. Oh, and they don't have anything, too. Yikes. No, not the Workshop War Chief. Definitely not the Workshop War Chief. Slam the War Chief. Play a Plaza. Swing for 1. And now we have a chunky 5/3 that will create a 4/4 when it dies. They play a Corpse Appraiser. That's a really strong card right there. I'm kind of fine trading off the Workshop War Chief for like a Corpse Appraiser or Magician and Hypnotic Grifter. Just because we get a 4/4 out of it, and then we can buff the 4/4 with the backup agent. To make sure that they can't just play a Wrecking Crew to block it. Yeah, sure thing. They take 2. And then we'll play a backup agent. Skybridge Tower, pass the turn. I think we'd rather just play the Skybridge Tower than discard it to connive. They play Tramway Station. They play Wrecking Crew. As expected. Just loot, discard the Fencer, grow it, and a Reservoir Kraken. That is a good courtesy. Sure thing. Kill the crew. And say hello to a Kraken. Glad we didn't discard it when conniving. They play a Glamorous Outlaw. And end of turn, we'll just connive again. If we discard land, we get rid of land. If we discard spell, we get a counter on this, and then it becomes more sizable. So a win-win situation. They keep 1 on top. They don't tap down. So sadly, no fish for us. Goodbye, Regulator. Hello, Crowbar. Let's connive again. We can discard Snoop. Move to combat. Do you want to tap down the Kraken? No? Then we'll swing with the Kraken and the Grifter. We have a spell to discard to the Grifter, so it's guaranteed a 5/6 for us. They don't know it. Sure, damage happens like that. And we'll play the Crowbar to unlock our Echo Inspector soon. Or just grow something. They play Cormella. That is fine. High-Rise Sawjack is something that we are willing to discard. Swing for a 4. They probably need to chump block, because they don't really want to take 5 here. Especially with the threat of us unlocking Echo Inspector, but they don't. We'll discard Broker's Veteran. Discard High-Rise. And they go to 2. Which means that this Echo Inspector is lethal, so we can just pass. We can crack the Crowbar to destroy the Sleep with the Fishes, and they'll be dead in the air. Unless, of course, I have something. A Night Clubber. Kills that, sure. We will sacrifice a Citizen and the Crowbar for this. And they concede. GG's. Just some good old Capenna. Glad to be back to the set. Always loved it. On to the next game. Okay, on the play. This hand looks pretty decent. We'll keep. Play a hideout. Go grab a green source and send in a nice little angel. Ooh, also brokers. Or maybe some sort of variation of their colors. Play a plaza and pass. We prefer not to play a regulator on turn 3, instead just something else, but a backup agent's perfect. It's a creature that gets a counter, and now we can start locking stuff down with our regulators. Yeah, Civil Servant's really strong. Until it can't attack. Well, we'll just take it. We have a combat trick to counter their combat trick next turn. They might have kill shot here. That's fine. We will regulate their Civil Servant again. Just keep it from attacking. While also adding some pressure in the air. Knockout blow. Ah, so that's what they had for combat. Well, lucky for us, we have refused to yield. And if they try and play a flyer, we have hold, or if they just hold back their Sawjack, we'll just hold for ransom it. Can't attack or block, and now we can start pressuring them. Sure, it'll have a 3-powered lifelinker, which is annoying, but we can outrace it. They don't have anything, and we'll play Crowbar. Pass the turn. If we just start flooding out, we can just crack the plaza. Sure. Ooh, Revelation of Power. To gain extra life. How many combat tricks do you have? Okay. Okay. I think we get what you're doing, OP. Just stop. Let's keep back 2 creatures. So we can trade off with the Civil Servant. I think they've used all their combat tricks. just a bit. We get a card. Workshop War Chief. Do we want to blitz that, or do we want to keep it around? Blitzing doesn't seem bad right here. And the card feels pretty good. Yeah, let's just blitz it before they can draw anything. Plus the 3 life's pretty good since we were at 7. We create a 4/4, we draw a card. Feels pretty good. Illuminator, Virtuoso. Let's move the Crowbar. And swing for 5. Can't really block this all that well without losing their Sawjack. And then we can start smacking in the air. We'll pass just because we're going to have some stuff to do with our mana, so there's no reason to move our Crowbar then move it back next turn. Civic Gardener, sure thing. Psionic Snoop, not bad. Swing for 5. triple block with all of those. Well, we can kill two things. Let's kill the gardener and the civil servant. Let's see, we need 4 mana for that, so we can just play island. Pass a turn, so we can snoop and Skybridge Tower draw. It looks like they don't have anything, and they concede. Good game, OP. Just had some good pressure while they flooded out. I think it was correct to blitz in the War Chief there. Just got in a free 5 damage, added a bunch of pressure, and then got a 4-4. And the 4-4 was pretty... Sorry about hitting the desk. The 4-4 was pretty sizable against what they had. On to the next game. This hand feels a little risky just because we have a Workshop War Chief with no green mana. But with the Reservoir Kraken, I think we can try it. Buy or silence. We're willing to trade off with this Lackey pretty easily. They got nothing. And we got our first green source. Green source number 1. Rumor Gatherer. That is a scary card to see. Well, let's just keep it from attacking. Play land, no attacks, pass. If they attack and have a combat trick, I'm fine with that. Because we still get a fish out of it after a little bit. Play a land. Ooh, they may have counter magic here is what I'm afraid of. I think we just gotta run into it. Slam a Kraken. Like, we weren't just gonna, like, wait another turn. Or another 2 turns just to play around and make disappear. Fairy Vandal. They just drew it, otherwise they would have cast it last turn. Yeah, draw 2. Rumor Gatherer doing work. I'm not sure why they'd even want to, like, try and offer a trade. Play a Grifter. And pass. We've got Combat Trick up, we've got Looting up. Rabble Rousing. Yikes. That's a good target for Buyer Silence because, oh boy, are we gonna need it. Loot. Celestial Regular looks good. We'll just discard a land. Yeah, scry 1, draw card 2. Be quiet. Rabble Rousing, you are not going to be rambling anymore, Rousing. Raffine's Informant. Super good 2-drop. Yeah, this Rumor Gatherer has been doing so much work for them. Just drawing extra cards consistently. Down to 10 we go. Skybridge Tower. I don't think we really need the card draw. We'll just rather loot instead. Play this, tap, I don't know, you, I guess? Pass. We can't really block the Fairy Vandal very well. Yeah, this is getting dire. A bypass. Sure, that means if they want to swing with that, they can't attack with their flyers as well. Sure. Interesting they didn't put on the Fairy Vandal, or else they would have been punching in for a lot more damage and have lethal next turn. Libation, that's a good combat trick to see. We only need to give +4. So backup agent, put a counter on the regulator. And just hope that we find a removal spell for Fiend's Informant. Quick Draw Dagger. Not bad. But we have to hold back. And we have one more turn to draw a removal spell. Actually, it might just... No, we're not dead on board. We have stuff. This... Are they giving us an out? No. Take 1, or go down to 1. They loot. So we need to draw like a Broker's Charm or a Run Out of Town or something. We've got plenty of removal spells, we just gotta draw them. What's taking our OP so long? Guess they might have a really good hand. Which is worrisome, but... if we can stall out the game, they might draw too many cards. Start looting. Discard Fencer. Regulator, that can lock it down for a turn. And now we're not dead in the air. Libation can give +2. That won't be enough. So just block with this and refuse to yield. Make sure that we don't lose our flying blockers. Because every flyer matters right now. Workshop War Chief won't do it. We just gotta connive and hope that we get Broker's Charm. That is not Broker's Charm. Also, sorry for the just instant lag spike. Well, let's see what we would have drawn. Yep, nothing. GG's. Yeah. Just got beat down by a few big flyers. Didn't have much in the early game, and I think that's what screwed us over. Maybe keeping that hand was a little risky. Same with going for the Reservoir Crack in there. If we played it safe, it might have been better. Oh well, GG's. This hand looks pretty decent. We'll keep. We'll lead off with the tower. Get our blue mana unlocked. Hopefully we'll play against a green deck so we can cast out of the way for the cheap. And with these combat tricks, I think Reservoir Kraken we really want to land. Riveteer's Overlook is a good sign for green. Get a forest. Just a mountain. Celestial Regulator, very good draw to see after a backup agent. There's a forest. Land in the backup agent. Just play a 2-2 to trade off with their 2-2 if we want. But I think we'd rather keep it around for regulator purposes. And quick draw dagger. We'll take it. High-rise Sawjack. Yep, just play a regulator. Now we've got some good blockers out of the way. Quick draw dagger. Ooh, that is spicy. 5 colors. Base green. I've played against a similar deck like this. They took every single fixing card, every single of the exile cards. It was frightening. Land. Perfect. Now we don't have to wait on the Kraken. Just slam it. And with some combat tricks, this thing looks like it's going to live a long while. Maybe produce a fish or two. Got combat trick / removal spell, and a removal spell. They big score discarding. What they discard? Suspicious Bookcase? This is the strangest deck I've ever seen. I mean, I guess it's a 0/4 blocker that's for 2 colorless mana. Would you like to tap it down? Ah, damn, lag spike. Is there a way to fix it in gameplay or graphics? There we go. Fixed. Well, move to combat. Tap down the Kraken, or give us a fish. There you go, this fish. Cool. We'll still swing. Because we want to do something with our turn. And quick draw dagger is going to help us do that. So now we eat the Sawjack. They take 2, we play Plaza, and then we see what they do. And let's move it onto the fish. I think the fish will prefer the quick draw dagger. Now I'm imagining just this fish carrying a knife, saying like, stick it up. This is a robbery. Give me everything you got. They play Outlaw, sure thing. We can just buy it silence. They'll have to start having the reservoir kept tapped down. Silencio, por favor. The damage is just gonna keep rising. Slowly but surely. Unless they have like a board wipe. Like depopulate, which I wouldn't be surprised by. Masked bandits. That looks like a good target for me to out of the way. But they concede. Yeah, they were just pretty dead already. And their deck was too slow for us. This hand seems okay. Like Broker's Veteran, Celestial Regulator, Quick Draw Dagger, no green for Workshop, but it's still a strong card if we can get green. Maybe we should have learned a lesson, I think, a game or two ago. Nah. We don't learn. We can just, like, discard this to connive at some point or something. Civil Servant, yikes. Well, don't really want to run out a Regulator when they can just turn this into a 3/3 where it does nothing. So I'd rather just hold up the dagger. In case they do that exact thing. I'm willing to trade Combat Trick for Combat Trick, especially if our Combat Trick sticks around. They do not have one. Good to know. So no combat tricks coming from their side. They just exile the Adjudicators. And green source number 1 is good. Just getting the Regulators down as a 2/3 flyer is fine. Like, what I think people forget about this is that they value the tap down too much. Like, it's still a 2/3 flyer, which is very good. And that is gonna be a problem, eventually. So let's just deal with it now. Keep tempo going. I don't think they want to cast their Adjudicators just for the fact that it's their only blue source. And if they're like really brokers slash Bant, or even more spicy, I guess, with Larcenist. Can't take it since no instant artifacts or sorceries. Swing this over here. Swing. Sure, we get a shield counter on it. Play a Sawjack. Play a land, and pass. Pressure is looking mighty good. Speakeasy server. I don't know what is up with this thing. Gameplay or graphics. There we go. Oh, never mind. Not sure why it lags like this. Just does for a second. Anyway, we put Blay Lackey. It's getting to the point where if they have to, like, block this, and then we just get a free fish out of it. Bypass? You were in no position to do that, OP. I have no idea what you're doing. Guess looking for depopulate? Yeah, I mean, you're dead on board, so... GG's. Just some hard pressure, didn't really have anything to back it up. This hand does not have any blue, but does have the double green. Sadly, we do not have the Workshop War Chief for it, so we'll mulligan. This is better, bottom land. Skybridge Towers tapped and pass. Land and go. I was really hoping to see Obscura Ascendancy right there. We'll pass, and then ambush the Initiate with a Snoop. We'll discard a Sawjack, since we don't really have too much of a use for that. Sure, they eliminate it. That's fine. Play Inspector. We do not need the green source anymore, so we can just pitch that. Sadly, it's not big enough to block the Initiate, but that's fine. We also don't get a counter for locking down. Sky Crier, sure thing. And a Citizen's Crowbar is just what we were looking for. And play Crowbar. Maybe you have too many Google tabs open. I only have like 20-ish. That might be the problem. Nah. They Obscura Charm that too. We will happily trade off with the Initiate. And we draw our own Skycrier. And now we're left with Broker's Charm, which we can use as a removal spell. Oh. Yeah, we're definitely removal spelling that. It's equip. Actually, no, we need the power. +1/+0. Now we swing this onto the Skycrier. Gain a life, play a land, and pass a turn. Yeah, Quasar is just too much of a threat to leave it on the battlefield. And they pass. That's threatening. If they just draw 2, discard a card, that's fine. That's Obscura Charm number 3. Sure. We draw a backup agent. Sure. Play backup agent, put the counter on Inspector. And now I've got Quick Draw Dagger as well for a combat trick. Jeez, how many removal spells does this guy have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Undercover Operative. Probably copying Skycrier, yeah, for the shield counter. Reservoir Kraken. That's a nice one to see. Swing for 3. And slam a Kraken. Not sure why, like, the lag changes with phases. I'm gonna have to restart my laptop after this, probably. Mage's Attendant, that's 2 bodies. Still can't block the Kraken very well. Yeah, sure. Celebrity Fencer before we get our fish. Swing for 3. Shield counter on the Kraken. I don't think they have a removal spell that can deal with it because of the ward. And swing a crowbar onto our fish. Sure. I'm fine with this. We lose our fencer, but now we still have fish generator. Although gaining 2 life a turn and 2 damage is... Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Out of the way, perfect. Not yet, we want our fencer and we have quick draw dagger. Yep, they can exile that. We go down to 5. We go down to 3. They can activate Skycrawler, go down to 2. Yeah, this would all be pretty bad. But this also gives us a chance to draw our Workshop War Chief, which will buy us a lot of time. Never mind, I forgot Inspiring Overseer existed. That should just kill us. GG's. I forgot Inspiring Overseer had flying. Broken card. Well, that was just misplay. What we should have done instead of that was, instead of having Fencer, or playing Fencer, just hold up out of the way. When they activated the draw, we can bounce Quasar, draw a card. Give us more outs. But I forgot that we weren't just dealing with Skycrawlers with flying. GG's. On to the next game. This hand looks pretty good. We'll keep. We've got turn 1 parcel. We've got all the colors of mana that we need. We might not even lead off with the turn 1 parcel. Depends on what we draw. Let's hope for no more lag this game. A green source would be nice to see next, but looks like they're my Estros. Sadly, not Riveteers. As we see them exiling an outlaw. We've got double green for our Workshop War Chief if we draw it. Witty Roastmaster. I kind of want to just keep Broker's Charmer as a removal spell. We'll just play 2-3. Yep, Strangle. into a magician. Probably creating a 1/1. Damn it. So just a treasure. Cast a Fencer. We're going to take 5, which is really bad at the moment, especially with them having direct burn. Yeah, we can't keep a creature on board. Midnight Assassin. Well, all we can do is just kill the Roastmaster. Glamorous Outlaw. We go down to 5. Hopefully we draw a creature. Hold for Ransom's pretty good too. Cast Libation for... no, we can still... We can still just cast Libation instant speed on the Outlaw, so this is fine. Pay 0, confirm 0. Create instant speed 1/1. And refuse to yield, since we need this creature for Broker's Charm to kill the assassin. Crooked Custodian. Well, we'll play a land and pass turn. We can trade off with the entire board with the Broker's Charm, give it +1/+0, and shoot the assassin. And looks like they don't got spells in hand. Perfect, so the board is now white. You've got a bounce spell for any spell they could possibly have. And a Psionic Snoop. Not bad. If they have one more land, they can unlock the Hold for Ransom, but they do not. Man Patrol. I kind of just want to let this get sacrificed. We'll see what we draw first. Just a land. Yeah, let's just let it get sacrificed. High-Rise Sawjack. Pass. Murder, sure. And strangle that. Geez, things are not looking in our favor. Yep. Hey, that's a life. That is a single life we need to live. Bounce this, draw a card. Broker's a Veteran, perfect. 1 life. We shall live. Nothing will stop me. Play you, and pass, end of turn, crack the Skybridge Towers. Yep. Maestro's Charm. Boo. That was a good lucky top deck. GG's. Well, can't really beat that kind of luck. We were able to live at 1 against what we knew, but That did it for us. Good game. They just had so much removal for our early game. Double strangle that we couldn't keep a creature on board. Well, that was the final game. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. It means a lot. And I hope you enjoyed having this nice flashback of back into Capenna.